Hello and welcome into another Friday Night Lights broadcast. This time it will be at Bill Power Stadium in Uniontown, PA, where the Red Raiders of Uniontown will face off against the Bucks of Burrell. I'm Devin Garina. Alongside me, Nolan Biceline. Last week, Uniontown faced a tough loss to Deer Lakes, 35-13.
Yeah, Uniontown let up 18 points there in the first half against Deer Lakes, and that just kind of put them down. So Uniontown's going to look for that defensive force to kick in this week against this tough offensive Burrell team.
And on the other side of the football, the Burrell Bucks Elizabeth forward to a one-possession game. Unfortunately, they could not complete the comeback, losing 34-26.
Yeah, that was a close game the whole way through the end. And Alex Arledge, the quarterback for Burrell, looks to step it up as he's the league best passer right now for a quarterback. So we'll have to see what he can do here.
As you can hear in the background, there's a lot of rustling of papers because the wind is actually 15-mile-per-hour wind. Feels like a lot more here, Nolan. But right here, we're going to pause for the national anthem.
The ramparts being walls were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And great rendition of the national anthem there. Actually, a student came up to perform it up here in the booth on the microphone. So we will get right into the tail of the tape as Uniontown starting off 0-3, Nolan.
Yeah, it's a tough start for them, 0-3 and 0-2 in the conference. They only average about 10 points per game, Devin, and they average 34 points against. And they're on that current losing streak of 25, so they're going to see if they can break that record here against this strong Burrell team.
And the Burrell Bucks, 1-2 overall, and 0-2 in the conference. Their points per game, 17, but on that defensive side is where they struggle. 29.3 points against. Their home record 0-1, road record 0-2, and they are on a two-game losing streak, winning the first game of the season, but losing the last two. The last times these two teams met was September 14th, 2018, and Burrell barreled over Uniontown 61-6.
Yeah, Devin, and as I said during the opening, Uniontown's defense needs to step up. Otherwise, we may see that same thing happen again a year later.
Will the Raiders take down the Bucks and snap their 26-game losing streak, or will the Bucks repeat history and win against Uniontown? Find out next on CUTV Sports 1.
Representing the Uniontown Red Raiders as captains this evening, number 21.
Hello and welcome back into a great conference game between Burrell and Uniontown. I'm Devin Garina, and announcing with me, Nolan Biceline. Today is going to be a battle of the defenses. See who gives up less points, and whoever gives up the less points will obviously be the victor in this one.
Yeah, I don't think either team here with this wind, as I'm looking at the flagpole, and it is just motoring back and forth. This could be a very high running game, and we'll have to see which defense can come up first.
And as we look at the Big East standings here, Elizabeth Ford North Catholic taking a commanding 2-0 lead in the conference. Derry right behind them, though, at 1-0, and so is Mount Pleasant. Deer Lakes and Yock down there in the middle of the standings, but at the back end here, Burrell, Freeport, Uniontown, all at the bottom there, but any of these teams can realistically bounce back and have a chance to be top 4 in the Big East standings.
Yeah, both of these teams are looking for a key win tonight, Devin. We'll just have to see how this wind, this type of game affects them.
Yeah, actually, during the tail of the tape, I was hit with a ceiling tile right on top of the dome here, but I'm all good. It was a styrofoam one, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that thing coming tumbling, but luckily it didn't hit me, so.
All right, here we're getting ready to kick off as Burrell Bucks will be coming out in a little bit of a North Carolina look here with the away jerseys, white on and Carolina blue with the dark blue helmets. And Uniontown gonna kick it off to Burrell as Burrell will take the first position of the game. As the ball falls off the tee, and we will see that a lot today. As I mentioned earlier, 15-mile-per-hour winds, it says on the weather app, but I believe that it's probably way more than that, probably up to the 20, 25s now.
Yeah, especially with those mountains in the background is pushing in that wind. It's for sure strong out there, and I would not want to be one of those players right now.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we do have the windows open here up in the booth, so we're going to have to see how this one pans out as the kickoff is up and fumbled, but gets it. Cuts through one, breaks one tackle, and is eventually tackled at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, he got back to regulation, which is good, saying that he fumbled the ball to start. So he was able to pick that back right up, and we'll have to see what Burrow can do here on the offensive side of things.
Burrell coming into this one 0-2 in the conference. So let's see if they can get their first win of the conference with this start, as we will probably not see a lot of throwing in this game, so we'll be looking at a more run-heavy game here as Burrell takes the first snap. And Burrell hands the ball off up the middle. He trips over his own blocker's foot and falls down short, way short of the first down.
Yeah, and that's just something that both teams are going to be looking to do, as Alex Aldridge handed that ball off to one of the many running backs that this Burrow team uses.
Yeah, Alex Aldridge, he has that ability to be able to hand the ball off and run it himself and also pass it, but I don't believe that that factor will be a big factor in this one, accounting the wind factor. As Aldridge gets it, almost fumbles it, and takes it himself, stiff arms one, almost gets away, but then is sacked in the backfield by number 50, Cameron Walton.
Yeah, that was a big sack there by Walton, as he said, Devin. And something that I've noticed already at this Uniontown is they're not playing very deep. They're keeping more up, so they're knowing that this Burrow offense isn't going to throw it right away.
Yeah, if they do throw it at all, I believe 3rd and long, they might take a shot here down the field. We will see as they have a person in motion, hands it off to a number 5, Trent Valocic.
Yeah, I did not see that play there, Devin, just because of, mic problems, but we're back, and that was a great run, in my opinion.
It's all good. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was 3rd down. Unfortunately, they will punt the ball.
And number 15, Jake Shiling.
As you can see, a little bit of overshadow here as the announcer is right here with the mic next to us, so you might hear him a little bit on this broadcast. We'll see what happens here as Uniontown gets ready to receive this one, and the ball is at about the 39, 38-yard line. And Uniontown coming with good field position on their first drive.
Yeah, that was a great first start for them on defense, stepping up for this week. And we'll have to see if they can continue this, as we'll see this Uniontown offense now come out and possibly see the run game with them as well.
As you can see, as we mentioned earlier, their last games last week, Elizabeth forward, tough loss, Burrell, and Deer Lakes took the W over Uniontown. And the last time they met, 61-6. Hopefully that does not happen again here, as Uniontown has the ball, 1st and 10 at about the 39, hands it off. Up the middle, he breaks to the side, breaks one, breaks two, he's down the sideline, and he gets pushed out of bounds.
And that was Javon Davis for the Red Raiders, racing down the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, Davis there with a great run, being able to break this Burrell defense right off the bat, and we'll have to see if they can keep up and what they have to do here.
Yeah, Javon Davis, another prominent figure to this offense. He runs the ball and runs over every single person in his way, as he can do it all, as well as catch the ball. As Uniontown, 1st and 10. Now, great field position here in Burrell territory, as they do a double fake handoff and fumbles, and they do, I believe, get the fumble, but unfortunate turn of events here for Uniontown.
Yeah, it almost looked like there was a little bit of confusion off the start to see who was going to get the ball there.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion, because the first time they tried to recover it, it didn't go that well, as it slipped right out of the quarterback's hands. As Uniontown has a 2nd and long here, still in Bucks territory, as they will get ready to snap it and do a double fake again, hands it off. He breaks two, and a flag is thrown, but good gain by Davis.
Yeah, it looked like it was possible holding there on the offensive line, trying to let him get through there, so we'll have to see what the call is by the ref.
Penalty is going to be against the Red Raiders.
As it is against the Raiders here. So they will get took back a lot now, as that was a 15-yard penalty. So it's 2nd and about 30, it looks like, but still in Bucks territory, midfield here for the Raiders. Let's see if they can do something, as they get the ball handed up to the middle to Davis. Davis runs over one and is tackled.
Tackled there by number 11.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see with this run game there, sorry about that, to see who can stay less disciplined as well, especially with trying to get through that tough defensive line of Burrell. We'll have to see who can almost come out on top without too many flags, as we saw that in Thursday Night Football this past week, with just flags with the rain, and that, you know, it can cost you the game.
Yeah, it can really cost you the game. You want to stay away from the penalty bug, as Uniontown is getting ready, snaps it, hands it off to number 20, and he cuts up field, gets tackled short of the first down, so it will be 4th and short.
Yeah, looked like a promising play from the start there after that first play of the drive, but Uniontown was just not able to push forward through the rest of the way.
As Freddie McElroy was on the carry here, as it looks like they will possibly be going for it, as that's a good choice in my opinion. You got the wind, you're not really trying to punt the ball, you want to keep it pushing and see what the offense can do. So if they get this, it could be really good for the drive. As they drop back, he passes over to the right side of the field, and it goes straight in the middle of the hands of Freddie McElroy.
Yeah, that was a interesting play in my opinion. I mean, I don't blame him for going for the 4th down just because of how windy it is. You know, being that tight, you don't know what it's going to do with the punt. So, you know, like we said, this wind is already affecting us. So.
Yes, indeed it is, as turnover on down, so the Bucks will take over. 1st down and 10, still in their own territory, as they go a high formation with 2 fullbacks and 1 running back, as They hand it off. He breaks up to the side, almost breaks one, and then gets stuffed by a bunch of Red Raiders at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Michael Scherer was just able to break through there. Both a running back and a linebacker, so you can see where he needs that speed on both sides of the ball there.
Will set up 2nd and 5 for Burrell.
So 2nd and 5 for Burrell. See what they can do. See if they can bring it past midfield. As under center snaps the ball and gives it out again. Tries to jump a defender and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So still about 3rd and 5 as you can hear the wind just come in. It's really a big factor to this game here, Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Burrow throw the ball once this game, Devin, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do the rest of the way.
As Burrell in the shotgun here. Uniontown expecting another run here. As in the shotgun formation, the Bucks are getting ready to snap. As he snaps, hands it off right up the middle, barrels through one, and almost gets the first down. Depends where they spot this one.
Yeah, I mean, from this angle, it looks like he's pretty much on it, but I think it's all going to depend where it is.
48-yard line.
And it looks like it's a half a yard short.
Yeah, it is a 4th and inches. They will stay out on the field, it looks like, to go for it on 4th and inches.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see most this entire game, both teams going for it on 4th down.
Burrell. And we do apologize for these conditions as Burrell barrels through and gets the first down. It looks like, depends on the spotting, and they do signal first down, so Burrell gets the first down past midfield. But I'm sorry for the conditions here. The wind is one of those factors that you can't really control. It's out of our control, so just sorry for any audio issues or anything else like that. But unfortunately, it isn't a crystal clear day like it usually is.
Yeah, and I mean, as I was watching the ref, he lost his hat halfway up the field right on that play, so.
And they run right up the middle, and they keep pushing. They keep pushing the running back as they will get to about the 45, 2nd and 5, as Burrell has that heart. They had that heart to just push behind the running back and get him his extra yards.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that both teams are going to need to come in and do, especially with Burrell. And, you know, Alex Arledge is probably disappointed that he's not able to keep on throwing the ball this week, but with these conditions, you just can't risk this.
Yeah, you really can't, as he gets the ball and tramples over a defender as he gets tackled at about the 30-yard line for a 1st and down.
Yeah, Scheer with that great run again. Like I said earlier, being both that running back and linebacker, you need that fast pace to keep on moving.
Yeah, got to keep having the pace there for that as they get the ball handed up to the middle. He breaks one, slides into the other, and he will be brought down short of the first.
And I think that's a name, Devin, that we're going to hear for the rest of this game, Michael Scheer.
Scheer is going to be a big factor in this game, being the running back / linebacker listed on the roster, as Arledge hands the ball off to Scheer, and he will be close to a first, but 2nd and short here. Burrell hands it off again to Scheer. Scheer cuts off, breaks 2, breaks 3, and almost breaks another as he trips over a defender and gets the first down, though.
Yeah, Uniontown, this is like that key factor that we talked about before the game, is that their defense needs to step up to be able to stop runs and stuff like this. And, you know, throughout this week, they should have been able to see the scouting report of what the weather conditions were going to be. I mean, these are all things that all the teams around this area look into.
Yeah, you have to be able to factor every element into your game plan. Burrell with the ball. 1st and 10 at about the 15 as they hand it off to Shear again. Shear to the outside, breaks 2, breaks 3, and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Burrell.
Yeah, that was a great, almost bulldozing type play there by Michael Shearer, and that's why Burrow's up 6-0 just from his constant running there and not giving up on the play.
Yeah, Uniontown unfortunately could not wrap their hands around him as he was just slippery and barreled over every single defender to get into the end zone for 6, as they will attempt an extra point here. Actually, they will go for 2, which is expected with the wind conditions. They have the I formation again as they give it up to Shear again, and he will just go straight into the end zone for 2. 8-0 here at Bill Power Stadium. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first quarter. Stay tuned here on CUTV.
Buccaneers 8 and the Uniontown Red Raiders 0.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Michael Shear, the name of the game right now, the only person to score any form of points as the Bucks of Burrell up 8-0 against the Red Raiders of Uniontown.
Yeah, that was just a great offensive drive there by Burrell. Just kept on running the ball and almost just using only Shearer. So be able, that's something that Uniontown needs to almost step up and almost somehow stop him.
And
Consider
look,
the
they
future.
actually have a person holding
Your
down
future.
the ball as a Uniontown Red Raider slips and actually catches the ball there. Luckily,
At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you,
for the kickoff.
empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
Definitely the wind is a big factor, and it is very strong, about in the 20-mile-per-hour range now. Feels like it's slowing down a little bit. Don't want to jinx anything, knocking on wood as we speak. But Uniontown getting the ball at about the 30 here. 1st down and 10 as they give it off to Davis, and Davis will be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's just Burrell with that strong defensive line and/or linebackers that are just able to stop this Uniontown running game. That pretty much that's what they have to rely on right now.
Yeah, they really have to rely on the offensive line to be able to make holes for Davis. As Javon Davis usually wears the number 24, but because his jersey ripped, is going to be wearing 26 here in this contest. As they will hand it off to Davis again. Davis stiff arms one and gets stopped right at the 35, and that will be about 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I mean, Davis, he's trying to do everything he can, but this Burrell defense is just stepping up and just getting through that block. The Uniontown offensive line and able to get to him. And that's why it's 3rd and 7, actually, Devin.
Yeah, very interesting to see Uniontown go with this approach, give it to Davis right off in the shotgun and not to be under center. But we will see how this one pans out, as it will be 3rd and about 7. As Uniontown hands it off again to Davis, and Davis will spin off of one and then get stood up before the first down marker, and it will be 4th and a short.
Yeah, I mean, Davis with that spin there almost looked like a Madden spin there at first, you know, that quick little spin, but he just had nowhere to go, really. So that just shows what this Burrell team is able to do on defense.
Yeah, Burrell is able to stop them short of the first down, and Uniontown looks like they will be in punt formation. So we will see how this kick goes, dealing with the wind, as there's a little bit of miscommunication at the line for Uniontown, but Uniontown is able to snap the ball off and get it up in the air, as that kick is really good and outs them at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was Clay Burkabile. So pretty good kick there by Clay, as you know, these conditions are not very easy, so, and they couldn't really have gone for it there, so.
Yeah, this isn't the greatest conditions to kick in, so this is like one of those kicker's worst nightmare kind of games here. And they actually spotted the ball out at the 35, so the Bucks will get a little bit of a boost here as they will get the ball, and it looks like 2 seconds left until the first quarter ends. It is 8-0, still with Burrell in the lead, as it looks like Burrell will take a timeout to get some communication onto the field.
Which, in my opinion there, Devin, that's a very interesting play. You think maybe they just would have went for a run kind of up the middle and then got through this end of the quarter, since they're about to have basically another timeout in 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds is when the quarter ends. So that was kind of interesting to see that they didn't just run it straight up the middle, run the clock out, and then focus on the second quarter. But it looks like they will be trying to take a shot here on 1st and 10 at the 35. Uniontown getting ready, trying to get another stop here, or trying to get their first stop.
Yeah, I think this play, drive, whatever you want to call it here, Devin, that they need to stop them here to still, you know, not get too far behind, especially in these type of conditions.
As Burrell hikes the ball and hands it straight up the middle, and he gets tackled straight in the backfield. That is number 77, Ken Toyisi.
Yeah, Toyisa. You know, he's able to break right through the line right there and tackle Burrell back for a loss.
As the first quarter will come to an end. Interesting timeout earlier by Burrell, but we will be right here for the second quarter live coverage here on CATV Sports 1. Hello and welcome back into the second quarter of this conference game here in Uniontown. I'm Devin Green, alongside me Nolan Beislein. Sorry, I said it wrong the first time. I keep thinking there's a L before the I. It's a very interesting name.
Yeah, get the L, get the E, get a lot of things, but you got it right the second time.
Yeah, second time is the charm, and second time might be the charm for the Bucks here, as it is 2nd and long, as they will go into a empty formation. And they have a man in motion, and they will hand it off to the man in motion. A little jet sweep action as he breaks one and gets trotted out of bounds.
Yeah.
Third and short.
Yeah, couldn't really see this far from who that was, but almost looked like Aldridge was going to keep it there, as that was Seth Fishback there. So,
yeah, Fishback with a great jet sweep there, as they took the running back from out of the backfield, put him to that left side, so made him an extra blocker. As they will go with that 2 fullback, 1 running back setup here, as Shear takes it to the outside, cuts back in, and gets tackled at about the 41-yard line, and they are in Red Raiders territory.
yeah, and Burrow's just using that, like you said, Devin, that 2 fullback setup. Sometimes you see teams do it where they have the 2 tight ends. This past weekend, Army did it against Michigan, where they used those 2 tight ends to run the ball. So being able, almost similar here, just except with 2 fullbacks.
As Burrell hands it off to Shear again, Shear lowers his shoulder and keeps pushing forward, as he will be tackled short of the first.
Yeah, and we even saw quarterback Arledge come in there and help out with that to try to get as many yards, and we saw that last week as well in Charleroi, which you weren't able to attend, Evan, but, you know, guys helping each other, trying to get as many yards as possible.
As it looks like Shear is a little shaken up on that play. Hopefully he is okay, as he was a name called often in this one so far. And the Bucks looking to capitalize off of the stop.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what the Bucks do here, especially with Shearer being their main guy. So we'll have to see if we see one of these other running backs come in and be able to step up just as well.
As Burrell is in the huddle now and breaks out of the huddle here, and they keep the same formation, very interesting formation, but wouldn't expect nothing less with this wind conditions. As they hand it off to number 6, it looks like, and that is Logan Phillips, as he takes it to the outside for a first down.
Yeah, and Phillips came right in and pretty much did the same thing as Shearer did. So that's something that this Bucks team works on for sure, is getting to the outside and pushing it as hard as possible.
Yeah, you want to keep going down the field and taking it to the Red Raiders, as they're just stunned right now. And I think Shear's back in the game, it looks like. So it's good that he's okay, a little bit shaken up. Takes off one play, comes back in, and 1st and 10 as they give it straight back to him. He would cut right up into a blocker and get stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that was a great stop there by the Red Raiders there on that defensive line, able to get right through and stop them. And that's what they need to do if they want to keep this game close.
And sorry again about the shaky footage and the wind and the mics and all the background noise. Very unfortunate conditions for us here in Uniontown. Everybody here has been working with us. Very great, every person with Uniontown. Everybody here up in the booth, very hospitalic, but the weather conditions just not what we usually go for.
Yeah, and talking about the weather, just looking, southbound from that looks like this way, just not looking pretty that way. So hopefully that's not rain coming in, because we don't want this game to get rained out.
Yeah, and hopefully if it is rain, it stays over those mountains and keeps to itself, as it will be 3rd down and 10 as Burrell was stopped again at the line of scrimmage. And they were in the shotgun set, 2 in the backfield, as they snap the ball, and he chucks it deep to the corner of the end zone, and it will be short of the target receiver.
And as of now, that was, I think, the first throwing play of this entire game that I've noticed, at least between both teams here. So, they weren't able to get that run game because Uniontown was able to stop them. So they tried that throw to see if that would work, maybe.
Yeah, and that was actually the second throw. The first by Burrell, but Uniontown on one of their first drives had a little out route throw, and that was just broken up basically by the wind. So you can see how the wind definitely does play a big factor. And they have the one back set as the person in motion. He drops back, and it looks like a little screenplay here as they give it to Zach Miller. Zach Miller cuts up, he cuts through, and he will go into the end zone there. Thought he was gonna dive in, but still, nevertheless, gets the score and gets the 6 points on the board. 14-0, Burrell up.
Yeah, and that was just a play that looked broken at first, and Miller was able to come through and finish that play, and that may be one of the plays we may see this week on the top 3 plays.
Yeah, as far as he dropped back, it looked very suspicious. I knew that it had to have been a screen or some type of bubble play. And nevertheless, threw it to Zach Miller. He cut up the field and was virtually untouched, as it looks like they will go for 2 here. 8:14 left in the second quarter. As they will hand the ball off to Shear. Shear bounces off 1, bounces off 2, and gets stood up at the goal line. No good. 14-0 is your score here at Bill Power Stadium. 8:14 left in the second quarter. Stay tuned here. We'll have the rest on CUTV Sports 1.
Colin, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Millersburg, Pennsylvania can watch our stuff down here.
Well, they could follow us on Twitter, or they could like us on Facebook.
Yeah, but what about our sports? How can they watch those?
They could watch it live on our YouTube channel.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back, and unfortunately we are working with one camera now, as the camera on the field is a little sketchy and the second camera unfortunately went out, so we will just be having a one camera view here for you. Sorry about these conditions. We might think that the wind probably blew away one of the cords, or made one of the cords loose, as Burrell kicking it off to Uniontown. Uniontown taking it up the middle, sees a little lane, bounces off one blocker, breaks 2 tackles, and is stood up at about the 40. I think they'll spot it at the 39-yard line. Great return by Uniontown, though.
Yeah, that was a great return out there to that 39-yard line. And as you were talking about that wind and the camera action, I think that's just something that maybe has to do with Friday the 13th. You know?
Yeah, very scary day here, Friday the 13th. If you hear that, yeah, Jason is coming for you, so you might want to run, as you did see a little camera 3 action there, and that is our director. Actually, no, it is one of our new guys here down on the field, as I thought it was Gary Smith, but it is not. And Uniontown will get the ball, as they will give it to Davis, and Davis gets stopped straight at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, that was just, this run game for the Red Raiders is just not being able to get through that defensive line of the Bucks, and it's just causing issues. And something that I've noticed throughout so far is that the kicker for Uniontown is warming up. So I don't know if he's just trying to stay loose or if he's the punter and the kicker. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see if for some reason they would use him later on.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do use him, as Craig Soltis, the quarterback for Uniontown, under center, as he will hand it off again to Davis, and Davis slips and falls in the back of his own blocker at the line of scrimmage. So it will be 3rd and about 10.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, when cold hands with the balls and everything, it's going to be a tough game for everything going on here.
Will remain 3rd and 10 for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and we have our grad assistant, Colin Kirkwood, and Director of CUTV, Gary Smith, up here by the computer trying to work some stuff out, as we do have camera 2 back online, and there is camera 3. And looks like Uniontown will be calling a timeout. And we will keep it here. 6:37 left in the second quarter. 14-0. Burrell Bucks have the lead. What so far has given them the lead, Nolan?
Burrell so far has just been able to run the ball and been able to get through this Red Raider defensive line, which is just allowing for them to move the ball up slow and steady, so that wears out that defense of the Red Raiders. And I think that's why, especially with Michael Shearer running the way he is, it makes sense that it's 14-0.
Yeah, Shearer is one of those guys that just barrels over everyone. And Uniontown coming back on the field here. See if they can get something cooking on this drive, as it is 3rd and 10. My papers are flying around everywhere, and we got to get some anchors for everything so nothing flies away now. And Soltis under center, and he hands it off to Davis again, I believe. Actually, no, that will be Matakiroy, and he is coming up a little bit limpy.
Yeah, and this, I think, as it looks like he is limping off the field, so I don't know if it maybe rolled his ankle or even if a cleat caught him up high on the leg. We'll have to see what we see afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully he is okay, as they will bring out the punting unit.
And after he came out to play, not very happy with whatever happened. Threw the helmet off his head, so have to see if we'll see him back in this game.
As they get the ball off and in the air, and it's blocked by Burrell and recovered by Burrell, as they will take over at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Justin Luzio that was able to pick that ball up. So great defensive play there by Burrell to be able to come in and stop the ball.
Great play there. Looks like one of the Niners plays earlier this week, or last week, against the Buccaneers, where one of the linebackers got through and blocked it. And Burrell in the shotgun set, as they will hand it straight up the middle to Shearer, as he pulled over one person and gets tackled by another, and it will be 2nd and short.
Yeah, I mean, he's just able to bulldoze, like you said, Devin, right through him, and he's almost, I'm almost thinking of like an Alvin Kamara type of comparison so far. He's got that speed, but he's able to get through the guys and almost bulldoze a little. I know you may not like Kamara being a 49ers fan, but that's who I'm thinking early.
As they will give a little jet sweep out to the side, and he gets demolished short of the first down, so it will be about 3rd and inches here, it looks like. And I was thinking more of a Mark Ingram vibe, as it's still Saints kind of, as he's on the Ravens now. But Mark Ingram definitely, because Mark Ingram can run over people. As Kamara, you don't see him doing that as much, as he's very athletic and has the speed to get around. But you don't see him run over people like Mark Ingram does. But Mark Ingram has that speed as well. So I would give Shearer a little Mark Ingram comparison here, as Shearer takes it up, runs off of one blocker, and gets the first down.
Yeah, Shearer is just, he's probably an early candidate for player of the game so far in this one.
Definitely, especially a most valuable player for Burrell, as without him, it will be a very interesting game. Probably still at 0, as he does have both of the touchdowns. And they will be in a shotgun set with all Ledge and Shear, as they have a jet sweep. Oh, and he loses it. Looks like they were going to give it to Zach Miller on the sweep there, but it is a QB keeper, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, surprisingly. So they will stay at 2nd and 10, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, that was great hand-eye coordination there by Aldridge just to be able to keep the ball and not lose it. But Uniontown was hoping he would have lost that ball there.
Arledge has the reflexes to be a quarterback. There you saw it being tested to the fullest. Doesn't lose that, but gets it right back as he steps back into the pocket, and he rushes out and throws it to the left side, and looks like he got feet down, and it will be a touchdown, Bucks.
Yeah, that was just a quick throw action play. Was able to get out of the pocket there and just able to find the receiver. Didn't catch a number there from the distance. It was in that back left corner, as it looked like it was Seth Fishback. So I think that's the second time we've heard Seth's name tonight.
Yeah, it is hard to see from up here, but it looks like he did have the number 9 jersey on, Seth Fishback. If not, unfortunately, I'm sorry. We will correct ourselves if we do find out it was not Seth. But nevertheless, great touchdown, great pass, great catch, all around good looking for Burrell. As Burrell gets a slant to Seth, and there he is, Fishback straight into the end zone for 2. As 3:44 left in the half, 22-0. Burrell leads the Red Raiders. We'll be back here on CUTV Sports 1.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
Number 9.
Hello and welcome back to Uniontown, PA. And unfortunately, it is getting a little unsafe out there for our cameraman. Wind is gusting at about 60 miles per hour. Our director, Gary Smith, has just came up to me and informed me that at halftime we will be calling this broadcast. First time in CUTV history. So just make sure that you look at the high school roundup on CUTV Sports 1. Make sure you tune in for those so we can get the rest of the highlights there to you. But unfortunately, after this half is over, we will be done with this broadcast, Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time. I mean, I've only been here for so many months, probably about a year now, but the first time that it's happened to me. And, our crew needs to be safe. I know, trying to set up everything, it was very windy. People were losing their personal items, so, it's safe for the crew. But we'll finish this half out strong.
Yeah, definitely we will have to finish this half out strong, and so will the Red Raiders. Trying to get on the board here, trying to break that goose egg as they hand it up the middle there. Looks like that's number 21, Torrey Robinson, and he will get the first down. So it's looking good for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and that's just, they need to keep on pushing through, such as what Scherer's doing for Burrell. Uniontown needs to push through to keep up this effort.
And make sure you tune in tomorrow as we will have the Vulcans game at home at Adamson Stadium versus Kutztown. We will see if the Vulcans can start off this season 2-0 and get revenge from last year, as Kutztown defeated the Vulcans last year. So hopefully we can get some revenge here tomorrow, as just be able to tune in. But the Red Raiders hand it off to Davis, and Davis gets pulled down at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, and we see Davis re-enter that game, so it must have just been something that just hurt at first, but he was able to push through pain. So we'll have to see, through the rest of this half if for some reason it gets re-aggravated or not, if it was something serious.
Second down and about 9 here as Uniontown gets it in Burrell territory. As Soltis in shotgun And he hands it off straight up to Davis. Davis will cut straight up the middle and get stopped at about halfway to the first down marker.
Yeah, and this is the same thing that we saw, Devin, whenever the game started, that, you know, these Red Raiders were able to get a hot start, but then they just kind of slowed down after that with the run game. And that's what we saw here, too, that got out to a hot start and then just kind of slowed down.
As 1 minute and 55 seconds left in this half and in this broadcast, as Uniontown is in the gun. And they hand it off to the right side. That's Robinson. And Robinson trying to cut it to the outside and get the first down. Almost gets the first down, and a flag is thrown on the play.
Yeah, and Robinson started out, you know, seeing his options, see what he could have did. But then he picked it up, and then I thought he was going to get that first down there, maybe down 2 to 3 yards short.
As it looks like they will bring it back. And a holding call, I believe. So they will replay the down, as it is in fact a holding. 1 minute and 34 seconds left in this half. 22-0, Burrell leads as Uniontown takes it all the way back into their own territory.
And this is exactly like the very first drive of the game that we saw, Devin, that, you know, Uniontown pushed strong from the beginning, but then just got a penalty flag and pushed them right back.
Yeah, try to avoid the penalty bugs in any fashion. But Uniontown shooting themselves in the foot here with a holding call, but they will drop back. Soltis gives a nice screen, and he drops it. So it looks like instead of catching the ball, it hit the ground first, and they call him down. And it will be fourth down and about 15 here as 1 minute and 12 left.
Yeah, and even if he would have caught that, Devin, he would have needed a kick on the Jets there to be able to reach that first down zone.
So they send out the special teams unit again.
Line to punt for the Red Raiders, number 1, Clay Berkebile.
And Burrell getting ready to return this one,
Back to receive the punt
seeing if
for
they can get it
Burrell,
back
number 9,
into the
Seth
Red
Fishbaugh.
Raiders territory. And they do. They get the ball and start returning. He takes it up the sideline. Looks like he could go all the way. Cuts back in, breaks one, and he gets a nice block by a defender all the way in for a touchdown. That is Seth Fishbach.
Turn the punt for a touchdown.
Great touchdown by him. Great return and great block by whoever that was there at the end there, blocking the kicker. And he takes it all the way for a Bucks touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that just looked like a great play from the start, you know, off the punt return. You know, I didn't see the whole play just because of the view angle, but I was able to see the second half of the play and just the jukes that he had there. You know, that could even be in the top plays. So there's 2 potential top plays here from this game already tonight, Devin.
Yeah, you're going to have to tune into High School Roundup to be able to see those. As 53 seconds left in the half, 28-0. Burrell holds the lead, and it looks like they will call a timeout. But great play there by Seth Fishbach, and he just knew what he was going to do as soon as he caught it. Took it out to the sideline, cut back in, broke one tackle, and a great block sealed off the touchdown run and return for Seth Fishbach.
And so far, Devin, this is the Seth Fishbach and the Michael Shearer game that we've seen. You know, all the points so far has come from them with run plays pretty much, except for one play that was a throw by Alex Aldridge. So,
yeah, Aldridge had that throw to Seth, so it is very interesting to see how they came into this game, what game plan that Burrell was going to go with. And Uniontown doesn't have an answer so far in this one.
yeah, and that's just, you know, Uniontown's defense, you know, second half is in 50 seconds, so get it together in the locker room, talk about what you can do better, and come out strong to start. You know, stop them on that first play as, Shear scored for the extra 2 points there.
And it will be 30-0 as Shear does take in the second 2-point conversion of the day for him.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just, with these conditions, you need to be able to do this type of stuff, so.
Yeah, you have to be able to do that as there's 53 seconds left in the half. And Burrell will be kicking the ball off after a great return. Let's see if Uniontown can get a similar return on this kick off. That would be very good for them, trying to break that goose egg and get it going.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, Devin. You know, just try to, these final 50 seconds, try to get as far up the field here. Sorry, I lost train of thought there, but try to get as far up the field and then try to make something work with these final 40 to 50 seconds that you have left.
And this will be the final 53 seconds of the broadcast as well. As if you're just tuning in now, I am sorry to break the news to you, but these wind conditions are making it unsafe for our cameramen and women in the field as Burrell tries to get an onside kick here, and Uniontown will recover. But back to the wind, unsafe conditions here for our cameramen and women, and they will unfortunately be stopping the broadcast here as Gary Smith says no more after this half. 51 seconds left in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, Devin, just watching the flag out in the distance out there by the scoreboard, it is just whipping, and I haven't seen it slowing down at any time throughout this entire game. So
yeah, it's actually been getting worse.
Yeah, so trying to throw the ball in these conditions, like we've only seen 2 to 3 throws this entire game. So
yeah, and one was a touchdown though, might I add. But they give the ball to Davis. Davis goes to the outside, tries to cut it back in, does a little spin right out into Burrell territory.
Yeah, and not trying to get too far ahead, Devin, but if this wind keeps up, you know, for you guys for tomorrow for Vulcan football, this could be the same issue for the Vulcan football game tomorrow as well if the conditions keep up as how they are.
Yeah, luckily the Vulcans have a three-headed snake in the backfield with the running backs. So we'll have to see how their game plan goes. As Uniontown in the shotgun fakes the handoff to Davis and gives it to Robinson. Robinson gets about 2 yards as there's 28 seconds left in the half here and counting. And Uniontown will call a timeout with 23 seconds left. 30-0 is your score here in Uniontown.
And, you know, this may be the final timeout that they have. They don't have it listed up on the board, but, you know, try to set something up really quick, some sort of screen that you can try to get as far down the field and towards the outside of the field to try to run out of bounds, you know, to try to get that final throw down.
Yeah, you want to be able to get some points on the board before halftime. 23 seconds left, you're at midfield. It is an option, and it is possible. And Uniontown getting their game plan ready as Soltis will lead the team out onto the field. 3rd down and about 7. And they will get ready to snap the ball here in shotgun formation with Davis in the back. As they will fake the pitch to Davis and throw a little screen pass to no one in the vicinity there. Try to get it to number 15, I believe, as it was a little bit short.
Yeah, and that was close to even the defensive lineman there, almost intercepting that.
As 19 seconds left remain in the first half. 30-0. 4th down and 6. Looks like Uniontown's offense will be staying on the field for this one.
Yeah, and I think if they don't get this conversion here, Burrell will just take the knee and take this to the locker room. As long as I would think, that's the sportsmanship at this type, especially being up 30-0 at this rate.
Especially with the conditions that are prominent in this one, as Soltis steps back, throws a little screen to Davis. Davis gets stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Number 7, Drake Soltis' pass is complete to number 20.
And it will be a turnover on downs. 10 seconds left in the first half.
And that Burrow defense just, even though it's ending now, I'm sure we'll find out more about it throughout the weekend, but they just stepped up in these 2 halves and didn't really let the Red Raiders able to do anything out there.
Yeah, to be able to hold a team to 0 points in the first half is very, very, interesting that this defensive line was able to do that. Very skillful. As you can see, his trash bag is being thrown around the field by the wind as it flies off the field on to the track. But Burrell looks like they will just run the clock out. And Schaefer breaks 1, breaks 2, breaks 3, and is carrying a defender on his back in to the red zone here. Great run by Schaefer.
Yeah.
And that will bring the end of the first half here. Sorry to everyone watching right now. Sorry for the conditions that you have been seeing and hearing, but unfortunately we will have to call this broadcast for the sake of our crew members' safeties. And your score here in Uniontown, 30-0. Burrell, make sure you tune in to High School Roundup to see the final score, as the ref is
decision has been made to put 1 second back on the plate.
Looking at the Uniontown coach, and it looks like they will put a second back up on the scoreboard as Burrell's looking to score here.
And this is totally opposite of what I just said 20 seconds ago, but for Burrow, this is them, trying to put their step in that they want to dominate this game.
Yeah, they're trying to put the pedal to the metal here. As Burrow's in the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Shear as he rolls out and gets sacked in the backfield, and that will bring the half to an end. As I said earlier, we will have to end the broadcast, unfortunately, but make sure you tune into this week's episode of High School Roundup to find out the end result of this one. On CUTV Sports 1, I am Devin Garina, alongside me Nolan Beislein, and here in Uniontown, 30-0 is your score so far. Tune in to High School Roundup, as I said earlier, and stay classy, Uniontown.